Facility. My name is Arsha Gupta, and I'm an agriculture analyst with the World Bank. I'll start by giving a brief background to the Smart Agtech Integration Facility. The facility is a part of the Honorable Balasaheb Thackeray Agribusiness and Rural Transformation, or in short, the SMART project. SMART is a joint investment of the Government of Maharashtra and the World Bank to enable collectives of smallholder farmers to participate in competitive agriculture value chains, increase productivity and market access of key commodities, and build resilience of crops to extreme climate events. An important subcomponent under the SMART project is to facilitate adoption of disruptive agriculture technologies among farmer collectives in the state. The Smart Agtech Integration Facility is an attempt to bring together the dynamic digital agtechs and the farmer collectives on one platform to interact and co-develop solutions to address some of the critical agricultural challenges. Post this webinar, the agtechs can access our website and apply to be a part of our journey to transform rural Maharashtra. I'll now take this opportunity to introduce our distinguished set of speakers. I'd first like to introduce Mr. Dashrath Tambare, who's the Additional Director of the SMART project. Next, we have the Digital Agriculture Technology Expert, Mr. Parmesh Shah from the World Bank, to talk about the potential of disruptive agriculture technologies in addressing some of the critical issues faced by the smallholder farmers. Next, we have Mr. Jayesh Bhatia, who's the Managing Director of Intellicap, and he'll tell us a bit about the underlying concept and operational aspects of the Agtech facility. And he will be followed by Mr. Adarsh Kumar, who's a Senior Agribusiness Specialist and the task team leader of the SMART project from the World Bank, who will consolidate and close the session. Now, before we begin, some housekeeping rules. I request everyone to keep your mics on mute and keep your video switched off for the duration of the session. Please feel free to use the chat box to engage with your fellow participants and direct any questions that you may have for the speakers. We do not have a specific Q&A session in this webinar. We will attempt to address all your queries through the chat box and will revert to you separately in case we are unable to answer your questions in this session. Please do leave your name at the end of your question to enable us to get back to you at the end of the session. You can also write to us at contact.smartagtech@gmail.com. We will also post this email ID in the chat box for your reference. Now, without further ado, I would invite Mr. Dashrath Tambare, who's the Additional Project Director of SMART, to say a few words and declare the facility open. Over to you, Tambare.
Thank you, ma'am. Myself, Dashrath Tambare, Director Agriculture and Additional Project Director for SMART project. As was told by Arsha ma'am, this is a World Bank project and the project development objective is to support the value chain development, particularly value chain development which are kind of inclusive and competitive. And those value chains should be of different commodities which are produced in Maharashtra. And those will focus particularly on smallholders and agri-entrepreneurs in the state. Now, we envisage different types of value chains to be developed for agricultural commodities which are produced in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, basically, we have 4 major crops: cotton, soybean, maize, sugarcane, and to some extent pulses. Now, these are the crops which are mostly integrated with the global value chains. While developing the value chains of these commodities in the state, we will be focusing on the community-based organizations, and these value chain development sub-projects would be developed by these community-based organizations, basically farmer producer companies. And apart from that, primary agriculture credit cooperative societies and self-help group federations would also be the community-based organizations which will be benefited from the project. Now, the essential part of the sub-project would be to associate with market. Means either they need to have a MOU with a organized buyer, or they need to find a new market. New market would be a overseas market, or within the country a domestic market, but which they are presently not accessing, and they aim to access this new market. Now, while developing these value chain development projects, there is a window called innovative sub-projects, or the complementary investment in innovations, wherein the beneficiary community based organizations can seek the services of particularly agri startups which are offering innovative services to improve the proposed value chains. And such services, if are sought by the beneficiary community based organizations, project will give grant to such services also. Of course, the procurement would be a kind of community procurement to be done by the CBO, and project will assist these CBOs to avail the services of these ag startups. So at the project level, we received too many offers from the Agtechs that we do such and such kind of things, and this will improve the value chain. But to make a systematic effort, now this Korean Fund World Bank initiative would help project to organize this effort in a systematic way, wherein we will be inviting, it will be a kind of call for proposal from all Agtech providing services, these startups, and we shortlisted certain themes on which we will seek the services of these Agtech firms. To do this, the World Bank and the consultant appointed by them, IntelliCap, would help the project to onboard and shortlist these ag startups. So project is very thankful to World Bank and KWF for this initiative, and we are working with the consultant appointed by the World Bank, and recently a consultant from World Bank also has been placed in the project. So from here we hope that we will get the enormous response to this call for proposal. We would be able to shortlist these Agtech firms and offer services to all the community-based organizations which would be part of this project. About 1,000 community-based organizations would be, I would say, the partners in the value chains, and they will be receiving grant to the tune of 60% of their project cost from the SMART project. We are in the process of shortlisting such community-based organizations. We have already published a call for proposal to call the proposals of value chain development from across the Maharashtra. We received enormous response. About 5,000 community-based organizations applied who want to develop the such value chain development sub projects in different commodities. And out of 5,000, we need to shortlist 1,000 only. Now, until now, we could shortlist about 700 out of them, and about 400 also submitted their full project proposal to the SMART project. We are in the process of scrutinizing these sub projects and sanctioning those sub projects and offering them 60% grant. Already we have sanctioned more than the sub projects of CBOs which have already been sanctioned. The number of the such sub projects is more than 60, and out of those 25 already rolled out. About 12 crores already disbursed to these community-based organizations. So there are so many learnings from these initial pilot sub projects, which would also help us in shortlisting the Agtech firms and seeking their services to improve these value chain sub projects further. Now, I would request IntelliCap team, I hereby declare that this facility is being now launched, and the website for shortlisting these firms would be available to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dambalaji. We invite everyone to go through our website, smartagtech.org, at a convenient time. The URL is also posted in the chat box for your reference. I would now like to invite Parmesh Shah, the Global Lead for Data-Driven Agriculture at the World Bank. Parmesh has worked extensively with governments, civil society organizations, bilateral, multilateral organizations in Asia and Africa, and has extensive experience of working with digital agriculture technologies as well. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Parmesh, and thanks for joining at this hour from Washington. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Arsha. So glad to be here and glad to see this happening. I think this is the 36th kind of innovation facility which we are doing in the World Bank globally on data and digital. And it's good to see this happening in Maharashtra for the first time. And I think I wish this will be not the first, but many which we will do in India as we go forward in every state. Now, globally, what's happening is that what is different in last 5 years, what we are seeing is that amount of data which is available is enormous. The data is coming from farmers, data is coming from satellites, data is coming from crops, data is coming from geospatial, data is coming from e-commerce, data is coming from many sources, transaction data from fintechs. You can see India has a lot of digital finance going on, data is coming from many sources. But if this data is not converted into analytics and good quality products and services and use cases which deliver better services to farmers, link them with higher productivity or markets, then it's counterproductive. The second thing which is happening globally is about 10,000 very high quality Agtech startups globally, and about 50,000 fintech very active startups. This is very unique, and this has blossomed in the last 5 years. We didn't have this kind of an ecosystem for a very long time. And finally, we also have digitization of a lot of government records. Like we can see the DBT work which is being done, even the resources which are being transferred to farmers right now through a direct benefit transfer means that a lot of data on these farmers has been collected. And we have digital farmer registries now in many countries where all the farmer data is geotagged and registered. So I think this means that we are on to something very different as compared to what we had in 5 years back. And during COVID, I think the digitization has even increased further exponentially. And then a lot of people who are not used to using the digital tools have started using the digital tools. I'll just quickly go through some of the key trends, and I'm not going to go through the whole presentation. This will be available to you later on there. So I knew something will happen. My slides are not going down. Ajay, do you have the slides with you?
Yes, I'll just share that.
Can you come to the second slide if it's okay with you? I'll stop sharing.
Yes, please.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that, but digital is not a panacea, and data and digital is not a panacea for good quality service delivery, good quality physical infrastructure. What we are looking at is a good combination of physical, farmer organizations, and digital is required to deliver better quality services. You need a combination of these three things to really work out there. And so basically, we need some amount of, a combination of these three to happen let me come back now. I think I have solved the problem. So what you see here is that you have lots of technologies being used in countries with very good mobile access, which every country has now, and internet penetration. You can use a range of technologies in data and digital. Now, mobile payments, mobile weather alerts, farmer information through video, offline advisory services using audio is being used now quite a bit. The intermediate connectivity ones, which are getting most popular, are now e-platforms for credit, remote sensing, farm to fork Uberized food systems, weather index insurance, e-pest and disease surveillance, and then portable soil sensors, supply chain tools, precision agriculture, price forecasting, and farm management software. These are going to be used increasingly when the data gets digitized increasingly. So now what we see right now is that you see a lot of change happening in the way the things are being used right now. So I think I'll stop sharing and just not use the slides, because that's unnecessarily deviating things. Unless Ajay, you are there. Can you go to the slide 3, please? Yeah. So ag landscape is very diverse. I think what you see is a lot of satellite data being used for a lot of imagery is being collected and then converted into insights. Like a farmer who is growing cotton or pulses in Vidarbha can get advisories, very specific advisories on what their crop condition is, what's going to be the weather like, and what could be the specific advisories, which could be. The data is such that you can issue even 10 square meter kind of advisory, which is based on satellite data right now. Data management and e-commerce, very important. I think e-commerce companies are bringing in a lot of data functionality into what is happening at that place. Then you have lots of other companies which are working on supply chain management, and a lot of companies in India are also working on that right now. Then on the soil management, this is going to be very important because now soil maps are available, soil testing is being done, but that needs to be converted into advisory on whether you need more fertilizers or you can use some biofertilizers and other kinds of things in terms of sustainable agriculture. There is also plant and animal data analytics, finance and insurance, robotics, sensors and drones, and precision agriculture. Next, please. Clearly, we need a lot of these technologies are not working at one level, and they are not very effective if they are used only at the farmer level. I think what the startups are able to do is to bundle a lot of this information coming from suppliers, farmers, processors, and distributors, retailers, and consumers. And I think this is what is going to be attractive, where the data from consumers, data from suppliers, and data from farmers is brought into one platform. And I think if one is able to create that dynamics, then one will be able to create very different kinds of solutions going forward. Because you want consumer insights, you want farmer field insights, you want remote satellite weather insights, and you want business insights in terms of what is selling and what is being processed there. Next, please. Next. So basically, we are looking at 4 areas now where these kinds of technologies are having most impact. The first is the whole agriculture productivity. The second is supply chain linkage and efficiency, where a lot of traceability solutions, supply chain technologies, digital logistic platforms, and e-commerce all come in together at one place. Then finance and insurance. Only 6% farmers are using digital finance services in India at this stage. I don't know the data for Maharashtra. So I think that has the tremendous potential that once you have data, if farmers don't have to go for everything to the banks, and they are able to develop a digital platform to access these financial services, that will be very transformational. We are seeing that in Kenya right now, where we have created using the M-Pesa platform and Agri Wallet, and that has really doubled or tripled the access to finance in a very short period of time. India has a lot of digital payment platforms, and I think this would be a very important area in future. And finally, the whole environmental and climate impacts, which are going to be very important in a state like Maharashtra, which has a lot of drought and other kinds of things, on how do you develop more climate smart advisories to go for that. Thank you. Next, please. So just to let you know that how the World Bank currently works in a country or a state like that. We have now invested in Kenya in a big data center where all the data about farmers, satellites, suppliers, agro dealers, farmer producer organization is all available in a big data center and is available to the governments, the private sector, and the startups at one place so that they can do innovative product development based on that. We also have a micro weather observatory where it converts weather data into micro observatory, which is relevant for a very small region. Like an FPO needs a micro weather forecast, it is able to get that forecast there. In case of locusts, recently, we were able to develop a warning and response system, early warning system based on this data. Then finally, what's most important is a digital registry and geotagging, very important. And I think if you are able to geotag all the farmer data in Maharashtra, you will see so much innovation coming from a lot of innovators who are on this call today. And then the Million Farmers platform, where million farmers come on this platform, a digital e-voucher system in which all fertilizer subsidies and all are being provided through an e-voucher system, which works with all the dealers and digitizing producer organizations there. Next, please. So basically, we have 26 startups and innovators which provide various solutions and services to 1 million farmers there, including DigiCow, which has Uberized all the veterinary services. So anyone who wants veterinary services can get those services in 1 hour time. All the veterinary providers are on one platform and all the service seekers are on one platform. And that has, then similarly, the Hello Tractor, where each tractor is fitted with a GPS device. And then all the people who want to requisition tractor services can requisition them. And India also has a number of such platforms which are already there. Then we have the IoT soil scanners being used, where a sensor gets put in the soil. In 10 minutes, you get a soil testing report, which goes to the dealer who keeps your fertilizer ready. And in some cases, even fertilizer is couriered to a smallholder based on the soil recommendations. So I think you can disrupt a lot of traditional models of service delivery which are there. Then solar powered irrigation, Agri Wallet, and then True Trade, and then weather index insurance. There are many applications. In fact, what is so interesting is that it's not a static platform that you have 26 and nobody else can join. You have created a platform in which every 3 months, 8 new innovators join that platform based on the proposals they submit. And we envisage that almost 100 startups would be working with 3 million farmers in Kenya in no time. So I think this is an example where all the outcome indicators on productivity, market access, climate smart technologies, which we had thought would take 10 years, we are now able to see some of those outcomes in 3 years. I think it disrupts the existing models of service delivery and is able to transform. Next, please. So Indian Agtechs are also pursuing variety of paths to scale. You have ones which are providing full stack solutions. You are global B2B kind of software as a service kind of models. You have tech enabled output supply solutions. And then you have a freemium model like animal and all that. Next, please. Please write to us if you want access to all this information. And we do a webinar series every week, What's Cooking digital series. We have done 60 till now. I see a lot of you are on that platform and I see you every Thursday in the morning. Please keep on attending. and also the digital agriculture website, which we have put in there. So I wish all the best to the Maharashtra launch of this facility, and wish Intellicap, Government of Maharashtra, and the World Bank team all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you very much, Arsha. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Parmesh, for giving us a flavor of the Agtech potential. We genuinely hope that through this facility, we are able to introduce some of these interventions to the farmer collectives in Maharashtra. Thanks once again for your inspiring and enriching words. It's always a pleasure to listen to you. Moving on, I now invite Jayesh Bhatia, Managing Director at Intellicap, to introduce us to the Smart Agtech Integration Facility and share some key points for Agtechs who are keen to apply. As Mr. Tamale mentioned in the beginning, Intellicap is providing technical support to the Government of Maharashtra and the World Bank teams to execute this facility. Over to you, Jayesh.
Thanks, Arsha. Hello, everyone. I'm Jayesh Bhatia, Managing Director at Intellicap. We are delighted to be part of this very, very exciting project. And at this point in time, I'm delighted to be part of this webinar on launching the Smart Agtech Integration Facility, which Shri Dashrath Tambale just opened up for the whole wide world. Delighted to be on this, sharing the platform with Parmesh. As you would have seen, the kind of work that he does is an inspiration to many of us across the world, and also with other senior agribusiness specialists at the World Bank, from whom we'll hear shortly. And my task that Arsha and team have kind of aligned for me is to take all the distinguished participants who have logged in to features of this Smart Agtech Integration Facility that has just been launched. So the next 15 to 20 minutes, we will walk through and give you a brief overview of what this integration facility is all about. We'll talk about what are the challenges based on the research Intellicap has been engaged with Government of Maharashtra, Department of Agriculture, and look at what are these challenges that are limiting growth for the CBOs in the state. We'd also, look at, based on the work that we've done, highlight the nature of agricultural technology enterprises and the solution that, based on the challenges that CBOs are facing, would be needed to overcome these challenges in the state under this project. We'll take you through, what the key objectives of the facility are, the advantages and opportunities for disruptive agriculture technology solution providers, and how these solution providers can apply for this facility. Moving on, in terms of this Smart Agtech Integration Facility, as you heard, is a joint endeavor of the Government of Maharashtra and the World Bank. It is very unique to my mind to connect these disruptive agriculture technology solution providers with the CBOs in the state of Maharashtra. The key objective is to provide the most relevant solutions to address their critical production as well as technological needs to ensure that their livelihoods are secured. When we talk about the CBOs in Maharashtra, we are talking about farmer producer companies. We are talking about primary agricultural credit societies. And as Dashrath Tambale have elaborated, the self-help groups, the joint liability groups, anybody who's bringing together farmers onto a platform can potentially be part of this this platform that really will enable transfer of technology. When we define the disruptive agricultural technology, we define it as more technological innovations that empower farmers, and mind you, I underline the word farmers, by either improving productivity of the farms and accelerating agri-food outcomes by multiple folds. We're looking at least 3 to 5 times that these technologies can, in terms of the potential that exists, based on the baseline that we have currently of average productivity in India. The second, aspect that defines the DATs are that they address the challenges of agriculture value chains, and that's where we do know by our experience almost 35 to 45% of the post-harvest losses that there are, the production systems that need to be improved, and across the value chain that we could really look at how best we are able to make it more efficient, make it more productive for the farmers so that they have better returns. If you move to really look at in terms of why this smart integration, Agtech integration facility has been launched, what are the key objectives now? As we said, the facility is for to facilitate the CBOs in Maharashtra to adopt Agtech amongst especially the smallholder farmers and their collectives. As we look at the kind of objectives that there are, we envisage that this would enable improving the food systems through technology integration, where we would like to, through this platform, identify that solution providers to address the issues that are faced by farmers in their current processes. We surely really need to look at what process improvements that can come in. Collaboration is the key. So this facility would provide, mentorship and setting up of the context for DATs across the country to address needs of farmers in Maharashtra. Because whatever solutions that you may have in proof of concept or even at scale that any of the DATs are working in any other part of the country, they could and would be facilitated with what's the context for them to adapt to the conditions in Maharashtra. Dashrath Ambale have talked about large 4 or 5 main value chains in Maharashtra. We do look at other value chains as well to either to evolve and develop as course of this project. Intuitively, we look at the next objective is really on deploying and testing these solutions in Maharashtra. We look at in terms of ensuring that the selected DATs do integrate smart technologies via the grants that will be dispersed to CBO, as Tambale Sahab elaborated in his opening remarks. But we do look at the other, key partner to this platform are the CBOs. We do, and everybody here would appreciate and know that CBOs do play a significant role in helping farmers getting access to resources such as financing or farm technologies and to the agricultural markets. It is not really surprising that Maharashtra has among the highest number of registered CBOs in India. And the number of CBOs has seen a very sharp increase over the past few years, along with the rise in membership of the individual farmers, smallholder farmers, to be part of these collectives. And based on our interaction with the CBOs as part of the SMART project, we do have really looked at some of the issues that they restrict their productivity and hence the income that the farmers receive. So some that very intuitively would come to everybody's mind. Farmers have limited access to quality inputs. They have issues around timely and appropriate information about weather changes, any pests or diseases. They have limited access to markets beyond the local mandis, which of course really restricts the earning potential that they have. They've also very limited information about buyers outside of the mandis in the country and what kind of specification that the wider market nationally or internationally is looking for as part of the products that they are producing. And of course, the very key factor as part of the production system that they have limited access to financial service and products to enable them to do better. So, in terms of, with that background, in terms of the challenges, the disruptive agriculture technologies, solution providers we envisage would work in the following 6 themes. One is about digital solutions. These are solutions that would, as you can envisage, would support the digitization of farmer data, land and crop profile, financial details, as well as data on day-to-day operations such as warehousing, inventory, packaging, labor management, and various others that I'm sure each one of you that is working in this whole space of digital solutions would be able to bring forth as part of your offerings through this integration facility. The second theme is around precision agriculture and automation of solutions. Based on the use of individual farm level data and spatial data, we expect the DATs to guide farmers in adopting better production practices, soil management practices, nutrient management processes to ensure that whatever that we are producing is sustainable, and ensuring that there is predictability in what the farmer is going to get as an output. The third theme is around urban food systems and logistic solution. As you can imagine, this is more around ensuring access of the farmers to the markets. So we're looking at the DATs to ensure the solutions around quality assurance, standardization, digitization, and where needed, certification across primary processing, the processes, storage management, and the logistics. So it's again very critical, just to reiterate, a theme which would enable farmers to efficiently connect to the markets. The fourth theme, as we move on, is on market linkage and traceability solutions. These are technologies that we expect would help CBOs connect with buyers, and buyers can trace produce from farm to plate, including, this would include provision of information on production practices used, quality of produce, and various stakeholders involved at each stage of the food chain. Increasingly, as we see as India evolves economically, that we are really looking at quality foods to be on our table, and we should really ensure through this facility that the farmers do benefit as part of the process. The fifth, kind of theme is around value chain aggregator platforms. This particular, integration facility that provides CBOs with an end-to-end understanding of the demand and supply of their produce, so that they can better understand the market and plan their production system. As you heard earlier, that this will facilitate and ensure that the standardization and good quality of the produce to the end consumer. So this again, theme 5, and on theme 6, we do envisage looking at the constraints that there are, that financial products and services that cater to specific needs of the CBOs on value chain finance, warehousing, working capital, long-term capital, insurance services would be provided and be accessible to the CBOs. In terms of why should the solution providers, engage with this? As part of this whole integration as this under this facility and under the SMART project, Government of Maharashtra envisages that boot camps will be facilitated, which would be attended by the DAT solution providers and the farmers, to ensure that there is a one-to-one conversation, and whatever tweaks, adaptations that are needed to be part of that, the technology and the solutions that you are willing to extend to Maharashtra, they are contextualized, they are effective, and they are beneficial to the farmers. So as part of this, the application process is pretty, across these, given that this facility has been launched today by Shri Dashrath Ambali, that we do look at the deadline for your applications by June the 6th. As part of this application process, as you would open up, will be asked to provide, you are asked to provide basic details of the enterprises and your products or services, and what would be specific offerings that you would be making in this case to the CBOs in Maharashtra. We expect, as part of that whole process, application process, that you would do a maximum 7-minute short video presentation in Hindi or in Marathi, detailing the challenges that your solution is addressing, what kind of products or services relevant to the CBOs, what is your business model, and what are the cost structures for the clients, for the CBOs, to enable access to your technologies. And if there has been any measurable impact that you've seen of your past work in whichever state in India or in Maharashtra in particular. All of this, all your applications will be vetted through a very stringent process, objective process. This will be put up to an eminent jury panel, consists of senior leaders, practitioners, and investors in the agriculture technology space, who have wide and extensive experience in enterprise development, as well as working with the FPOs. The jury panel will evaluate the business model, financial performance of the applicant, and product and service alignment with the 6 themes that I elaborated in the previous slide. The CBO representatives, I think this is going to be a first, that the CBO representatives would also evaluate these videos and presentations that you would share, so they will assess the potential of each of the solutions in addressing the challenges that are faced by them as part of their production process. What are the assessment factors on which assessment would be made of your application? We look at what innovative solution that you're bringing in, and what is the scalability of that particular solution. This would indeed be very helpful for us, as we said earlier, that you need to really elaborate and articulate what measurable impact that you've had since inception and offering these services to the open market. Number 2, the relevance of the DAT solution, disruptive solution, to one or more of the 6 themes that we have elaborated. How well your product or service aligns with each one or more of the themes, and how well you are placed financially and in terms of human resource capacity to expand your operations to Maharashtra in case you are not operating in Maharashtra at the moment. And finally, what we would really look at into your past experience of how you've shaped up the enterprise from its inception, and how you've engaged and enrolled different individual farmers or CBOs within and outside of Maharashtra. We would, as part of this whole process, as I said earlier, we would really look at the shortlisted solution providers to receive mentorship from a panel of experts. We would really work with, these experts would work with DAT solutions providers to help them contextualize these solutions, just to reiterate. And we really look at in terms of the opportunity to pilot, disseminate, and adopt innovative technologies kind of going forward. We would be delighted to receive any of your queries that you have on this specific phone number that has been looked at, or the email, which is constantly monitored and responded very proactively. Please feel free to engage with this very innovative platform. As Parmesh mentioned in his opening remarks, that it is first of the many that would come up across different states in the country, and we would be delighted to answer any of your queries and look forward to your applications on this particular website that's been launched today, smartagtech.org. Thank you so much for your patience and participating in this webinar today.
Thank you for the presentation, Jayesh. I'd like to reiterate that the objective of the facility is to introduce the Agtech pairs and the farmer collectives to each other so that they are able to explore workable and sustainable solutions in Maharashtra. There are a lot of comments from the participants requesting us to share the presentations. We've also mentioned it in the chat box. We'll definitely share them at the end of this webinar on your registered email addresses. We once again request everyone to direct any questions that you may have to the chat box or write to us at contact.smartagtech@gmail.com. We are posting the email ID again in the chat box for your easy reference. I now invite Adarsh Kumar, a senior agribusiness specialist and the task team leader for the SMART project from the bank side, to deliver the closing remarks. Adarsh, over to you.
Thanks, Arshia. So first, a vote of thanks. I think thanks firstly to the DAT providers and representatives of CBO who are part of this launch. I think your participation and initiative is going to be the fundamental driver of the success of this initiative. Thanks to the government of Maharashtra for taking the initiative and bringing it to the stage, particularly Mr. Dashrath Tambale and his team at the project. Parmesh, the global lead, Parmesh Shah, thank you for joining. It's very late at night for you. We will be relying on you to bring in the global expertise and knowledge as you sort of shared today, and also to plug back the learnings from this facility back. I think 36 innovation facilities you said, I think this is the first in India. It'll play a key role, not just for Maharashtra, but in serving as a bridge between DAT providers and farmers in other states as well. Thanks to Intellicap and Mr. Bhatia for really providing the technical backstopping to bring it to this launch, and again, your support will be key going forward as well. To the World Bank team, the lead task team leader Manivanan Pati, with whom I co-lead this project, Bala, who initially worked on it, Arshia, who's brought it to fruition. Thank you, and I think this is quite exciting achievement that we've got to the launch of the first facility in India. A few points I do want to reiterate. I think increasing smartphone penetration, high growth potential, but as Parmesh sort of referred to in his remark, coverage is still low, and I think that is the one of the key opportunities. I'm seeing some large numbers in different reports that maybe up to 300, 350 Agtech providers in India. Some other report I was looking at, a PwC report, which said 500. So there's a large pool. I think we can all agree that there's a large pool of innovation with potential, but coverage is low. And really, there is a role of DAT for the public sector to adapt solutions that are and innovations that are being brought in through the DAT providers to the needs of rural farmers on the ground. I think we think there is a public good element here in terms of the supporting the experimentation and iterations that will be needed, the outreach and training of local communities that will be needed to rapidly scale up actions. And really, that's the reason for our involvement. We'd like to thank the World Bank Korea Trust Fund facility for supporting this and making this possible. But I mean, in the end, there's also a strong private good elements, and that is the whole purpose of this. why we see the promise, right? That it can be rapidly scaled. So we need to ensure that the user payer model or the business service model, the business development service, where there is a revenue model inbuilt, and it's not dependent on donor financing to scale up. That needs to be. We need to keep it in the at the foreground as we move forward. So this facility is an opportunity to co-create on the ground with DAT providers. I think that's what it supports. For DATs to sit together with pharma groups, iterate on solutions, and arrive at a model that can be scaled up going forward by themselves. So focus areas I won't go over. I think that's been covered. I think there was a particular question I want to respond to that somebody asked in the chat box, that are joint applications with commercial banks possible? I think we should definitely make it possible. If it is not, that's desirable actually. So that's something that to our team and to Intellicap and the project that to flag that. So thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing many applications and on the ground applications of DAT solutions through this facility. Back to you, Ashwin.
Thanks, Adarsh. And on this question of whether DATs along with commercial banks can apply, I am pretty sure that they can. We'll get back to the person separately as well. So I would also like to thank everyone for joining us today. To reiterate, the applications are now open. You can access our website, smartagtech.org, for more information and apply online. We sincerely hope that all Agtechs participating in today's session will apply, and we also plan to have further interactions with the larger ecosystem while we are executing this facility. Also, big thanks to the audience for their active engagement through the chat box. We hope that we are able to we were able to answer most of your concerns, your queries, and the presentations will definitely be shared post the webinar. If we are not able to address your queries, please be rest assured we will respond to them over the email. For further queries, comments, or any feedback, please do reach out to us at the email address that we've provided, and we do look forward to hearing from you. So thank you once again for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you.
Some,